Hey everyone, what's up? Long time no see. Welcome back to the stream. We're gonna be playing some Marlin today because I want to prep for the upcoming calling in Seattle, which we're going to. So if you see us, say hi. But yeah, I'll go over the deck list a bit, but let's go ahead and just try finding. Oh, good to go. Oh, I could play against this person looking for. That's how you get gravy games, really. Yep. Good. I've been practicing on my alt account, so that's why I was paranoid. If you ever see any Marlins on Talishar, they could definitely be me. But yeah, this deck list is actually like pretty similar to what I'm going to be bringing to the calling. There are a couple cards that I want to test out today, mainly the Hamstring Reds, mainly for Syndra. I also want to test out like 2 shelters in the board and see if that's actually impactful. I've mostly been thinking about like the Marionette matchup because I think that's going to be one of the more popular kind of like aggressive strategies for the calling, but we'll see. Actually, let me make sure I make a public lobby. No, I did not. Okay, that's a problem. Public. There we go. There we go. Oh, welcome in everyone. How's it going? But yeah, we're gonna be playing some Marlin today. I know a lot of people are kind of just like burnt out on CC, which is fair. Feel like Silver Age is definitely a little bit more popular nowadays, but I think it's still fun to at least kind of try to prep for a calling. I know that the Slippy Armory deck will definitely shake a couple things up, so definitely seems like Assassin's kind of like on the up and up. I don't know how actually if the Slippy deck really gives anything to Marionette though. At least not that I can think of off the top of my head. Let me make sure I actually made time. Did I make the lobby? Okay, hold on. One of these days. Let me. I thought I set it to public. Hold on. Public. Competitive. Okay, that looks good. Weird. Alright. I just like make sure. Okay. Seems like we sometimes it like auto defaults to private for me. I don't really know. Alright. Girl caught. Oh, it's like boycott. That's funny. I've considered actually running tar pits in this matchup. I don't think it's like terrible. Also, I've just had success just like beating them in the face though. I do like Riches and Ataya for this matchup. Typically not like a longer matchup, but Ataya does typically help stop a couple of reacts. We could give them a good have fun. I think we could maybe try like 2 tar pit, maybe over like the tips. Yeah, let's try the tar pits. I've actually had like some success just running like the normal board, but always willing to try new things. And is kind of eh. I think we're just sending a gold pin here though. We're going off gold, which is awkward, but probably still fine. We get like 2 to 3 damage in here. I'm probably fine with that. And we also get oh, we are giving them. Hold on, this is actually like a. Let me do like actually a bit. I think I forgot that like I'm so bad about like Codex of Blood running on turn 0. Like I think it's like sometimes fine, but like I think better is often just like pass. Actually, just quiver here instead. All right, we have take aim on top. I think my plan is just Arsenal Codex and hope we draw into an arrow. Could definitely get awkward. But yeah, try not to Blood Rot on turn 0 if you can help it. Oh, it looks like they're discarding a shelter. So I guess the Goldfin wasn't connecting there anyways. But yeah, giving our opponent an Arsenal on turn 0 is pretty bad. Okay, this is a good hand. We can actually hopefully block with Kraken, and then just send 13. It's pretty nice. Given our opponent's discarding a shelter, that almost makes me think they have another react in hand, and they just didn't want to like double IP. At least that's the only play. That's the only way I think that play makes sense. It could also just be like CNC or something. So okay, so I think we were correct that they had like another react they wanted to hold on to. We'll give up the armor here. I think it's fine. There's also merit to like maybe giving up the take game there, but let's get aggressive. Oh, I've tried also experimenting with like a lot more like blue arrow heavy lists, but the problem is like at least with my like play patterns is I block with like Sea Lice like pretty early in a lot of games. So like having more blue arrows doesn't actually help unless you can like keep Sea Lice for a while. I don't know. I've been accused of being a blocker. Alright, 13 with an Arsenal is not bad though. I feel like the Frailty is actually pretty relevant. I'm not gonna hook this. So Kraken normally shouldn't hit anything. Like best case scenario, we might get like a Warmongers out of them or like a dual threat. But generally not super good against Ira, but you do just run it just for the Harpoon type line, I feel like, a lot. Yep, hey everyone. Welcome into chat. If you're looking around, say hi. Let me know what you think of the what was the announcement today, or I guess the dev talk or whatever. I think it was pretty interesting. Blitz being turned into Commander was not something I actually had on my 2026 bingo card. That's pretty crazy. I've actually kind of expected them to do that at some point, to have like the singleton, whatever. I'm kind of surprised it's taking this long. Right, just a bunch of attacks seems good. We could have theoretically hooked there, but it's like a little bit early to give hook, I feel like, and they do have some amount of armor to work with. Yeah, pain in the backside, recoil, unknown card in arsenal. Be fine. Ooh, Tar Pit's actually kind of nice here. So now they have a 0 for 3 in hand, so we can Tar Pit that. The only awkward part is it's going to go to 0 for 4. So like we're only stopping like 1 extra damage with this. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. I think I'm just supposed to say this is fine. But let me take a look at chat. Howdy, we finally got our October dev talk. Also, Blitz seems like casual fun or at least something. Yeah, I think the Blitz changes are actually really interesting, at least from like a deck building perspective. I know it should probably also bring down the power level a little bit, but them not also having the ban list is a little bit suspect. Curious to see what this is. Maybe just close chain pass. Yeah, new Blitz is kind of so this is not any disruption or anything. That's good info. Let's go ahead and just cycle our gold here. Some people you know are more excited about Blitz. It's very funny. I can see it. Blitz has been like a little bit stale recently, hasn't it? Kind of a little bit of awkward draw. But yeah, Blitz being changed to like a commander thing is actually like probably not that bad actually. Like I think the power, like them like removing the ban list is like a little bit unhinged, right? Because you like there's some like really broken stuff you can still do in Blitz. Like if they allow like Awakening in Blitz, it's like, oh god. Oh, Narbonnes, you got your charity tokens? Nice, nice. Awesome. Yeah, those tokens are a lot of fun. I know a lot of people have actually been getting them, so I'm glad that we correctly mailed everything out. Yeah, it made it sound like the once a year like celebration thing was going to be a pretty big deal. So I'll be curious. Like, it seems like that's going to be like LL Blitz or whatever. It seems like it's going to be fun. Oh, Kraken's Aether Vein Burdens. Ugh, gross. Yeah, Blitz is if they're gonna just like no banless singleton, that's gonna get crazy. Looks like we're getting I guess these are like the Tau Chartels, right? It looks like they're blocking with like 3 equipment plus. Hey, they have like a 0 for 4 D react. Seems good. So what kind of Ira is this? Do we know yet? Kind of just looks like value pile Ira. They did get their tunic for what's worth though. Alright, not too bad. So I think I'm going to tar pit second Kodachi here. Shuko and Pouncing Buzz are also interesting. Why not big Shuko? Like 2-block Shuko. I feel like I see a lot more of that. So they're gonna go purge. This actually gets covered by a tar pit pretty cleanly here. So don't mind this. But yeah, glad to hear everyone's enjoying the tokens. I know that was a lot of fun making those tokens, so I'm glad people are finally like getting them in hand. All right, what is our opponent gonna do here? Dual threat into like Kodachi cost or something? Okay, there's definitely the one cost. This doesn't have the on hit, which is at least nice, but we are taking 11 here. Pretty good. Do I want to Arsenal the red fin or the blue fin? Get a lot of our bigger harpoons. Yeah, I feel like having an Arsenal is actually like kind of fine. I guess the question next turn is, are we going to hook? Given the current board. We're coming in for 10, and then they have 2 armor. If you go 0 for 4, 0 for 4 pitch, then it gets like a little bit awkward. So I think I'm not supposed to hook. I feel like you could probably get away with hooking though. Like, we've already seen Sink Below, Shelter, and Flickflack, so they're running definitely like some number of D-Reacts. So the question is, if they have 2 of them plus another card, they get to cleanly block this. I think I'm not supposed to. I've also heard Marlon's actually like pretty good in Blitz. We haven't actually been to a skirmish yet because we've been mostly prepping for the last little calling. I feel like they kind of are representing maybe double direct here or something. Or maybe they are going to take 7. Wrestling Redfin, I guess, against them is probably not terrible though. Feels like they probably aren't going to be running like too many blues. Too many good blues at least. Alright, Tempest Palm, Gust Wave, Rowdy, Locals, Sigil. Does it matter what we take here between these two? Because I feel like they just pitch to Kodachi's anyway. I guess we take the Rowdy so they can't like disrupt us. I guess that makes sense. I imagine their play is probably just gonna be like either play the Tempest, Arsenal Sigil, or something like that. Seems good. Ooh, this is a nice hand. Yeah, these are the hands. This is why you play the deck, like these type of hands. How many buffs have we seen? Really only seen the one take. I don't think we've even pitched any buffs. I think we pitched a catch of the day in the first hand, right? Is that what we did? Pitch catch of the day. I think that's it. We do have a lot of buffs actually live in the deck. I'm not super thrilled about sending the red fin, but it's still like probably better than nothing, right? Alright, so I think I'm definitely hooking this because the chances of them having 3 D-Reacts is pretty low. Oh, perfect. Maybe perfect. We'll see. Well, we do have Tunic up, so this should actually fix the hand pretty nicely. We take game. Could be looking at a red fin for 20, assuming the deck cooperates. Alright, perfect. God, I had some games yesterday where like the deck just like would not give me what I wanted. Like I think I like bricked off 3 oak like 3 times. So like when you get like the perfect 3 oak draws, it feels like I feel like you don't really appreciate like these draws sometimes. Ooh, nice. Probably bottom the port side. Probably okay. I think I will hook this since this is 18. Seems pretty good. So like even if they have 3 reacts plus a card, they'd have to like give up mask. And we know what their arsenal is still the sigil. But yeah, that's a nice big harpoon to start the day. Love it. Okay, get the whelming block. Alright, Warmongers, Rowdy. Okay, so we unfortunately whiff off the Redfin, but their hand is like kind of bad. Unfortunately, they do have Warmongers next turn, but we will live. Because we do have the King Shark in Arsenal, at least. But yeah, that's another pretty strong reason to actually want to run Kraken in this matchup, is just sometimes you'll snipe a Warmongers. I assume we're getting Warmongers next turn. Which means we're kind of incentivized to block with the pre-med. So we'll take one here. Kodachi for 2. They send Tempest. And then they Warmonger us, we send 10. Arsenal 3 Oak. Should be in pretty good shape still. Block the Mass Trigger as well. Seems good. I've been debating, so chat, let me know, Marlin experts in chat. I've been debating bringing back Owning Hood like recently because I think that Marionette's getting a lot better. I don't know if people are like running Warmongers for Marionette though. What's up?
This little cat was in the dryer again.
Oh, Philip was in the dryer.
Yeah, do you want to show him to the screen?
Yeah, I can show him the screen. That's what people are really here for, right? The cat.
Show him off. I'll take him.
All right, buddy. I'll take him bacon.
Bacon. He's already toasted. Look how brown he is.
He is pretty toasted.
Let me see the toasted cat.
All right, you want him? Oh, he's too large.
He's so
fat. All right. Philip made a cameo. Yeah, Narbnods, you know what's up. That's what everyone's here for. All right. Get him down to 2. Okay, and another Warmongers that they cannot play, notably. The Humbles are really annoying, though. They're gonna be really annoying. I guess we have 3 Oak, though, so, like, we have 3 Oak plus Tunic. So we should still be able to block here. We will not say no to the cat. The Twitch, or no, the YouTube chat has spoken. I don't know where Wilson is. I think Wilson's also in the other room. Ooh, okay, Tar Pit. So their hand was Sigil, Humble. So there's Sigil Humble, right? So they shouldn't be sending another Kodachi here unless I'm missing something. I think their arsenal is also still that Sigil, so they're getting 6, they go to 8. We Tar Pit Trap here. Problem is the Codex is really awkward. Alternatively, we can Tar Pit on this, but I think that's probably not worth it. So I think we're supposed to Tar Pit this. So we don't have to worry about blocking 7 on the next thing. They could also theoretically just like Sigil, Arsenal, Humble, pass. I think I'm more fine with that. Kind of interesting play. So they play Sigil, take 7, go to 9. They go back up to functionally 8. And I think we start just cracking some gold. I mean, I think we need to find something a little bit better than the hamstring. Could also just like Tar Pit this, which I think is also semi-reasonable. We have 2 Krakens left in the deck. We also have like a decent number of the blue harpoons. So I think this is probably fine. Maybe we do give up the Tar Pit just because I don't think the resources really matter with 3 Oak. It's more so like making sure we get our value in, right? So there's a sigil. We go ahead and just cover this. I guess maybe in that case, is there a merit to just like giving up Tunic and just like blocking the full bit on this? Yeah, that was better. Giving up the Tunic does feel like a little awkward though. So I think. Question is, do we start pitching? We have 4 gold to work with. Like the chances of breaking here are actually like pretty low. I'm gonna try to find a better arrow. That's a better arrow. All right. That was not very hard, apparently. So now we get to 3 Oak, sit on Kraken, pitch the Warmongers, right? And I think we'll go ahead and overpitch the 2 blues here, and then overpitch the catch that they sit on Codex and Arsenal. I think since we're getting to the point where life totals are a bit lower, I think it's okay to just dry hook this. Like if they have 3 block plus, so we know that their Arsenal Sigil. Okay, that's fine. The other Arsenal Sigil, they go to 8. They can like, they do have to give me a card here. I guess Sigil is actually another argument for dry hooking, right? Because they're going to be at like a slightly higher life total. Like the chances of us connecting before killing are a lot higher. They gave us the Rising Knee Thrust. We go to 1 here, and then we get a peek at that hand. All right, Shelter, Rowdy, Pain. Okay, not bad. So I have Pain, Rowdy. What does that mean for us? They don't want to discard the Shelter, so we don't really have to block the Rowdy, I don't think. Unless they do something like really weird. I guess they're going to pitch the Rowdy. Okay, that also works. They can do 1, 4, or they can do 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3. I guess we should probably block on the 3, right? Could also just call their bluff and say you don't have anything. I think is reasonable given the draws, but we are getting like 4 value by blocking this, so I think it's probably fine. Might as well, right? Stop the mass trigger, like theoretically they can draw into maybe another Rowdy or something, and that gets annoying. So we know their Arsenal Shelter. They have 2 block on field. They have 1. Let's see if they can block 14. And we should be pretty insulated from like hard bricking here with the Tunic. And we draw out the Loan Shark. I think we're just supposed to not get greedy since we have Codex, right? Let's grab the Shark. They could theoretically have 1. I mean, the hook's getting to the point where it's like actually not going to matter. Theoretically, they could like Sigil from hand, shelter, block, and then we connect with the hook or whatever. Possible. We do know that they're on sigils, so I guess there's no real like disincentive from hooking right. Oh, welcome in everyone though. Just kind of warming up a little bit. But yeah, this is a list that's like pretty similar to what I'm gonna be bringing in the calling. I think I titled this list Gravy 0% because I think Taylor had an interesting idea of just like what happens if we just like give up the Gravy matchup entirely. So that's kind of like the plan for today, basically. It's like what happens if we just like completely ignore Gravy. But yeah, we'll go into the deck. Okay, so yeah, E-Strike, Sensor. Let's see what else they had. I'm kind of curious just how higher let's go. Good game, Girl Cod, and I love the name. So they're on Overcrowded, Dual Threat, Warmongers, some number of attacks. Oh yeah, I can post the link in chat. So this is not exactly what I'm going to be bringing to the calling. This is more so like just my testing list. So I titled this list Gravy 0%. So if you have any local gravies, I would advise not playing this list unless Gravy becomes very, like, a lot less popular than he is right now. But yeah, there's the link in chat. Let's kind of talk about the list though. So I think the core of the list is largely the same from a lot of my previous lists. The only difference is the murder scrabbles. So these are kind of taking the place of like toxicity in Taylor's list. I was partial to I don't mind toxicity. I think it's just like I don't know. It feels like the meta's gotten like very D-React heavy, so I kind of like the rabbles as just being like a front-loaded toxicity where you're kind of getting like I think I've talked about this like maybe on a past video, but like Murderous Rabble is kind of like there's like RNG to whether or not toxicity will hit, right? But there's also like RNG on what Murderous Rabble flips. So it's basically like front loading the RNG so that like you don't have to worry about it hitting, not hitting, that kind of thing. Like toxicity is either 0 or it's 3, right? Murderous Rabble is kind of the same way where it's like a blue 3 block, but you also get that range of like is it 1, is it 3, that kind of thing. So I'm trying this out in the blue slot as a 2 of. I think it's not bad. I also cut this to 1 in some lists, and I think that's also pretty reasonable. But yeah, I do like this card. And it also being like a 3 block is like semi-relevant in the off chance that you randomly get a situation where you need to block, right? Let's also talk, I guess, a little bit about this sideboard. So I think this is where like a lot. So I think I have like 4 slots in my normal list where the gravy hate is going. So this is basically like freeing up those 4 slots. So I'm basically theory crafting like what happens if we just like bring in extra hamstring shot into Syndra. And then what happens if we bring in like shelters for Marionette? Those are kind of like the 2 main slots I'm thinking about. But largely the list is pretty much always the same. I'm still partial to triple Tar Pit Trap just based on the current meta. Lots of go again, lots of nasty on hits, so Tar Pit's been pretty good. And then just Quiver and Trench for just like burdens and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. No drop the anchor. So that's why we're doing Gravy 0%, right? So we're basically cutting all the great. So this is the idea that Taylor had is like if you give up the gravy matchup, which is like a 30-40% matchup, something like that, right? But you get an extra 5% into like every other matchup. That's kind of like the theory, right? Is like if the deck is better into everything else, then maybe you can afford to just have the gravy matchup be like completely unplayable, right? So that's the theory, at least. Again, if you have like local gravies, I wouldn't advise just going like completely no gravy hate in the sideboard. But that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're basically going to be testing to see if any of the other matchups, like any of these like tech cards, actually end up mattering. Spoiler alert for like Marionette specifically, I think that shelters have not historically been good, but I'm willing to basically give them another try tonight. But yeah, there's been a lot of developments with the Marlin. I still really like this kind of shell where it's like a lot more aggressive. I know there's also the fatigue list, which is interesting. Hold on, let me actually see if I can like pull up that list. Give me 1 second. It's like trade federations. There's also been this list running around, which I'm going to pull up. Give me 1 second. But this is another like newer Marlin list. Let me see. There we go. Let me pull up this list. I have some thoughts on this list, which are very funny. So this was, I think, the fatigue list that I recently saw on like Fabry or whatever. Have you tested against Verdance yet? Yeah, Verdance is actually a pretty good matchup on the shell. At least on the other list. We'll now talk about this list. So this is an interesting list that I saw. I think there was like a guy doing like an airport deck tech or whatever. I think this list is really interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So like New Horizons, very weird. We're running like Mage Hunter Air, Return Fire, very, very spicy list. And this is kind of trying to do like a fatigue style gameplay, and also like this round's on me Sift. Very, very funny list. I don't know if the results necessarily like back up this list. I don't know. The public win rate on this deck is pretty rough. So I still have a couple doubts on this list. Especially like if you look at where this list is struggling, like 1 and 8 into Marionette seems about right. And then we're also struggling into Gravy, also struggling into Kasai. Like a lot of the matchups where you have to like kind of engage with the game a bit faster, that's where this like kind of fatigue stylist will really struggle a lot. Just because like if you have tempo, like sometimes you're not able to do anything. The best thing you're setting is like Endless Parade or something like that. But yeah, I think I'm still liking my shell, which is like or my shell or Taylor shell or Ben's or whatever. But I still really like this like aggro shell that you can just like kind of like high roll with like 3 oak and the buffs basically. But yeah, still partial to the style list. And again, I think the Verdance matchup is actually like not too bad. Let me actually look on my other list and see. I have like a private list that I'm also testing on. Let me see what my Verdance win rate has been on that. It's been pretty good though. So on my non-public deck list, I'm sitting at roughly I think it's 75%, so I've had like 4 games. Like I think I've had like another deck list as well, but Verdance historically has not been like too tough. I feel like pretty confident in that matchup, just because I think like it feels like there's a lot of agency in that matchup, especially if you like get to go first and stuff like that. But anyways, let's go ahead and grab some more games. But yeah, we're gonna try to practice some of the tougher matchups tonight. See how that goes. But yeah, what are like the challenges for this deck list? I think Marionette's still a little bit of a puzzle. Like, kind of depends a lot on like how the deck list is built. Gravy continues to be like a bit of a trouble. I think what else. Yeah, I'm not sure. Huntsman's like pretty bad. I actually like debated putting an Abyssal Quiver for Huntsman. But I don't know if it's like worth respecting that much because I think that deck struggles into a lot of other decks. Oh, did it do it again? I feel like it doesn't. I'm on public, right? Default game. Like, it should be popping up there for some reason. I'll try again. It's like not. Okay, hold on. It's like not starting the queue. Unless I'm looking for Ira. Wait, oh, I am the looking. Wait, what? Wait, why am I looking for Ira? Okay, weird. Maybe what? All right, I'm looking for meta hero. Let's see. Let's try that. Why? Okay, that was weird. All right, we got Syndra. Let's go second. And then I don't have my auto sideboard. That's unfortunate. Let's go and cut the Golda tips. Actually, I don't remember if I cut the Golda tips. I definitely cut the Krakens, 2 hammies, and then shelters. Let's cut like a murderous rebel. All right, let's try like this. Again, 2 hammies is a lot more than I normally run in Syndra. I'm curious if the red hamstrings will overperform here. I think that's normally how I board though. Roughly the same. Alright, Tarp and Yarpoker. It's nice. Yeah, I still always prefer to go second in this matchup just because like first of all you get like the graveyard fuel in case you like draw in a codex, which is always important. So we're gonna try to Tar Pit on Chain Link 3 is the goal. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just block with the Sleep Dart early. But yeah, they shouldn't be getting a mask hit unless something like very, very weird happens here. They have like 1 dagger hit though. This matchup's still like a bit of a tough one, especially if you like just kind of draw bad. Kind of like a top 20 cards of the deck type matchup. So they didn't flick on here, so this is Chain Link 2. I think we're still tarpeting this. If they have the Ancestral, that's fine. It's like a little bit annoying because it means we might not be able to connect with it, or we might have to like give up Gold Data Hook or whatever. But I definitely still want to hold on to this 3-oak if we can. Alright, they're just gonna let that go. First didn't flick. Unless they have like another Ignite plus Chain Ender or something. Yeah, why are they not flicking? What? I'm confused. I feel like there was maybe a better sequence there, but who am I to judge? In general, when do you filter turn 0 instead of trying to get overpowered damage through? That's actually a really good question. When I get... Alright, so wait, the chain... What is going on here? I'm baffled. I didn't expect them to. Okay. Yeah, we're playing against the Syndra here. So when do I try to? Oh, this hand's like kind of gross. I do. Could actually like Codex of Bloodrot in the Codex of Frailty, and that's like fine, and then just like pitch. Seems fine enough. Then we're like locked into like Arsenal and Codex, which is like kind of bad. But also just like YOLO the 3 Oak. Not a ton of good options here, honestly. Oh, one play we could do. Actually, hold on. I think this is the play. So we Codex of Frailty, discard the Shelter, get the Sleep Dart, which will go face down, right? And then we can either Sea Lace, load into something else. Let's see. We might have to like crack gold this turn, but this is kind of interesting. All right, so got the Hamstring. We can just Arsenal. Problem is, the red draw was actually a little bit annoying. Now we could overpitch if we wanted to, and just send the Sleep Dart. I guess maybe that's like the safest line. So I guess we're doing like the same thing regardless. I guess Sleep Dart will be moderately annoying if they don't get to buy their daggers back, right? All right, let's go to the question of, in general, when do you try to filter turn 0 instead of trying to get overpower damage through? So I'm assuming this is from the perspective of like going first, right? Because in general, like second turn, you're not really like filtering or anything or whatever. But if you're going first and you're filtering, you kind of have to like maximize the resources you're carrying forward to the next turn, as opposed to like your main goal is to like set up for the next turn, right? So like set up like a big game trophy shot in Arsenal. You want to set up like I think we're just letting this go, by the way. You want to set up like something good to ideally like play on the next turn, right? So that's like your number one priority. And then your second priority is like getting through a bunch of damage. And depending on the deck, like it's a lot easier to get damage through than like other decks. So like against Syndra, like might be like relatively easy to push some number of like overpower damage through. I'd flick here if they actually wanted to. I didn't actually realize that this affected Syndra, but I guess it is a Draconic card, right? I guess it's fine. It's like your priority is always like trying to manage your resources. Now, in the case of like let's say you have like a big game trophy shot and then snatch. Kind of annoying. Actually like block with the shark now. Wonder if I actually like misblocked here somehow. What happens if we block with the shark plus big game? We could also just send like big game for 6. That's not super appealing. Actually, maybe could even give the tunic here if we really wanted to. But I think Sea Lace is maybe like slightly less value. No, actually, I think the block here is actually take game plus Sea Lace. Maybe that was a misblock on my part. Maybe we shouldn't have given up the gold bait. I kind of forgot that they can actually ignite back the hero power. Minor misplay on my end. Or actually, like pretty major misplay. But anyways, go ahead and maximize your resources going first. And then like any damage you can get because of like the number of like D-reacts in the format. A little bit of a sinker draw. Still fine though. Just send 10 here. I think I'm not supposed to Arsenal the Tar Pit here, and I'm just supposed to send 10. A little bit awkward. If we had a blue there, that actually would have been pretty big. But yeah, I feel like getting a ton of like chip damage in, especially given like the number of D-Rex in the format, is like less of a priority than just like make sure your second turn is like a lot better. And then there are also like a lot of heroes where like denying filtering is like really important, like Verdants. Like if you can prevent them from like getting a bunch of Earth cards in the bin, it's like generally better to just not even attack them if you have like a pretty decent hand. Looks like we did make a bunch of gold here, so that's at least nice. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just like throw their hand in front of it. Alright, pretty solid hand here. So they have to flick here now, which means that we can potentially block on chain link 3 if they're like forced to give the flick. So we are going to have Tunic coming up, which means that I'm like more inclined to want to try to block with the hamstring here. Because then we can like pull Tunic, just like rip the 3 up with a pre-med on it. Alright, so they'll get a fealty, get an arsenal, and they don't get to buy back kunais. Surprised they didn't, or no, they did make a resource off the blood splatter, didn't they? They just used it instead of, I guess they could still also like buy back daggers, which is probably correct. Depends on, I guess, what the arsenal is. But yeah, there are a lot of heroes that are like giving them cards is not like worth the damage or something. Like I think Verdance, Florian, like the Earth heroes are like the best example of that. Let's go ahead and just rip the 3 here. It should be pretty safe with the Redfin. If we draw like a King Shark, we can just send that instead. Alright, double Redfin. I will not complain. Good. So we're going to be sitting on a lot of gold. Now we just need to make sure we're... oh, whoops. Let's... get sure blues. I think who else, like, filtering really matters. There are a lot of heroes where like, denying the filtering is, like, pretty relevant. I feel like against, like, most aggro decks, it's, like, not super relevant, though. Against Syndra, I don't think, like, denying filtering is as good as, like, just sending a bunch of damage. Alright, so they have unknown card in Arsenal, Brand, Renegade. So the chances of us actually taking away, like, their ability to buy back daggers is pretty low. Yeah, Adam, sorry if that was like a little bit convoluted. I think it's like it's a really good question though. Like when do you want to like send damage versus like deny your opponent getting deeper in their deck? I think against a lot of heroes the answer is it really doesn't matter. So how do we want to block here? We have a lot of gold we're sitting on. So I'm kind of incentivized. We get 7 cards deeper in our deck. Like I think based on that and based on their hand, I think I'm supposed to just like block King Shark and just try to find either. So how many hits do we actually have? We have another red hamstring, or no, we block with the hamstring, so we have 1 more hamstring left in the deck. We can go 3 and 4, deny the mass trigger. Seems like a play. That being said, if they do go for a throw dagger or empowerment, okay, so we know that their arsenal caught on the heel, so they should flick here. And then we just shelter last card. Seems good. But yeah, it's an important question, like filtering. It generally just depends a lot on like who you're playing against more than anything. But like if I'm like presented with like a 3 oak in the opening hand and I can send like 17, like I'm obviously like sending 17 there, right? Like especially relevant against like Verdance. If you're opening against Verdance is like pre-med, blue, King Shark, 3 oak, I'm absolutely just trying to send 13 there. Oh, they're not gonna go for the not gonna go any further. Interesting. Let's hold on to the arrow just in case we like brick horrifically. But yeah, let's try to dig a bit deeper in the deck. Right, King Shark is nice. So I'd ideally like here another blue. Perfect. So now we can arsenal the shelter, which we know that they probably do. Arsenaling shelter is so awkward. I think we have to, like, they're probably gonna attack, right? And before they like give me their full hand, and then I like IP or like IP4. I guess if they do that, we have the opportunity to like discard it. I think it's not even that bad. Right, let's take a look at their hand. They're Syndra. We can probably afford arsenals, right? But if they're stream sniping, they can time walk us pretty easily here. Right, so the hand is a 0 for 3. It's like another brand, right? Like they just didn't play the second one. So Arsenal's brand, I guess we'll just take the least or the most impactful 0 for 3. Good. So the red hamstring in this game has not been particularly impactful. That's kind of also why I've like cut it down to 1 though. Is like I think the card's good when it like lines up and you don't have anything better to do, but when like you're drawing it and you have like 3 king sharks and then also just like the red fins, like kind of whatever. So what are we blocking with here? I'll also just say no blocks to this and just block on. The hand is sending 12. So we have 9 more coming at us. I mean, it's probably just correct to stop the mask, right? But there's like a greedy part of me that's actually we should probably shelter first, right? Shelter first so that we're not like they can't just like arsenal pass or whatever. The idea with shelter, by the way, over like other sync below, Diriac, Fate, whatever. The idea is to basically just have like the opportunity to like discard it for the alternate mode against like specifically Marionette is like the idea. So if you draw this, you can potentially stuff the mark trigger for a turn, which is pretty cool. So I think here we don't have Tunic coming up, which is unfortunate, but I think we're just going to block with a trophy shot. And we do have a lot of blue, so again, sitting on 5 gold, we're doing pretty okay still. Our opponent is on just the 4 cards, whatever they draw in hand. Our draw's not been too bad though. Like we've basically seen most of our power. I'm gonna start actually by pitching the tipple so that we have a chance to like hold on to the catch of the day. Draw there is very, very good. So I'm looking to draw either 2 blues or a buff. And we'll take a catch of the day. Go 1 more. We're getting a nice little example of the gold basically translating in 3 gold is like 1 extra card, right? That's how the math kind of works out. For what's worth, we did have some tipple lines we could have gone through for there, like where you tipple, refresh the gold, yada yada. Seems like our opponent's moving off of it. Actually, wait. They had 4 armor here. They could have actually blocked the red fin. If they wanted to. I mean, the rest of their hand's like not very good, but they could have actually stopped the gold for a turn. And we're drawing sorted runs. We're drawing. Okay, we're gonna like actually kill them next turn. So I guess that's fine. Again, Syndra matchup is like feels pretty good. Obviously, when we're running like the 5 Diriacs plus the hamstrings, but I think it's been also like pretty playable on like a lighter package for Syndra. Definitely depends. All right, let's see what we can get next. Sorry, I was giving someone a quick message there. Oh yeah, I heard about that. The Pankaj's Crown of Providence Return Fire. I heard him mention that. All right, so since we're not playing, we're playing the Gravy 0%, so we're actually going to leave the Gravy game. I don't know if anyone wants the 0% actually demonstrated, but like with this particular version of the list, it's like actually 0. Like we have no Gravy respect at all. I do think the Gravy matchup is like really interesting and worth practicing, but I've got some spicy tech in the works, so I don't really want to showcase it just yet. But yeah, we'll skip the Gravy matchup for now. I know that Gravy is a pretty popular deck, so like skipping the Gravy matchup does feel pretty weird. All right, playing against Pallades. So this matchup's definitely one of those matchups where the filtering is going to be kind of an interesting decision. Let's bring out the Murderous Rabbles, bring in the gems. That seems fine. Let's. So this is a really good example of like when to filter versus knife filter. So based on their configuration, it looks like they're fat decking us. So I'm kind of curious to see if they want to try to play out an aura on turn 1. And I kind of want to just pass here. If they don't want to play out an aura or anything, then we're incentivized to just like hold the hand. But because they actually sigiled, now I think I'm going to change my play and just try to go for value. So let's go ahead and discard. Might end up discarding like whatever we draw off the top, or we might end up discarding one of these two. Let's go ahead and discard the take game, and then we can Arsenal Trophy Shot. So this is a pretty good example where we're gonna potentially get some damage in here. They could, since their plays like full block this, or at least getting that gold back if it does connect. If it doesn't connect, we do have just Trophy Shot, which we can just YOLO fire next turn. So Fatigue Pleiades. I don't think I've necessarily seen like a fatigue-oriented version. Like, I feel like the more aggro versions do better against me, but we'll see how it goes. And now they like kind of have to either like give up a point of armor or something to like actually like full cover this. Pasto Iron Grip. What the hell is going on? Alright, maybe we got like uber punished for attacking in. We could still win the clash for what's not impossible. Please? One time? I guess this... Huh. I mean, we could... Okay, we won the clash for what it's... I don't know what's going on anymore. It's fine. Alright, so we're playing against Fatigue Pleiades. They have a staunch response to the deck, which is terrifying. For what it's worth, we're good at the game, so we didn't have to discard a card. But interesting set of cards here. Alright, so we got Hungry for more finals. Okay. I mean, we could definitely beat this. Yikes. So they mill us one. There. Oh yeah, I think we did know about the Ion. Did we know about the Ion Top? Did they give us that information? I don't think they did actually. But sure. Seems fine. We lost Eye of Ophidia. Not the biggest deal. Alright, let's go ahead and big game trophy shot. It's like a little bit awkward, but it's still probably fine. General like trophy shot going gold negative is sometimes a little suspect. We can now just like Arsenal. I want Arsenal for next turn. I think the safest Arsenal is still like the Yellowfin, but I'm not like crazy about it. Yeah, let's go ahead and just Arsenal the Yellowfin. Mainly just for damage purposes if they're going to go like a more fatigue route. And again, we're not going to hook here because we're not guaranteed to make the gold. Plus, they have a lot of armor and bridge to still work with. But if we do get to refresh the gold off the trophy shot, that's pretty nice. For what it's worth, I've had pretty decent success into like Guardian Fatigue. Huntsman Fatigue is like another story though. The testifying grips are like really interesting though, because it's like that means you're probably not playing a ton at Diriax, unless they're just running this as like a random 0 for 4. Pretty good start from them though. They basically gained like 9 life in the opener. Pretty good. The nice thing about Marlin is it is a deck that does do a lot of damage. So you can't unfortunately take the auras, but that's their hand. They get to the palm of their hand, hope to draw into a blue, and then maybe Boulder drop us next turn. Could be worse. But yeah, the Pankaj is I gotta see what Pankaj's list is if anyone has it. I don't know if he mentioned that on the video. That's a very funny list. So what happens if we take the Boulder drop? Given the state of our hand. So we bottom riches. Yellowfin, Ichitaya, Sea Lace, go again. The alternative play is we get 4 armor, which then does not do anything. I feel like the safe block here is just do this, right? Take the 3. Then we just get to send Yellowfin with the hook on it. That seems fine. And I think we'll save the 3 up for next turn. Then we can Tunic. I imagine they probably don't have a ton of yellows in their deck, but it did show us the Righteous Cleansing, so it could be minorly annoying. But yeah, Crown Prominence plus Return Fire is kind of spicy. I like that. I know there are a lot of Trench Enjoyers that are out there still. I think that Trench is also pretty good with like Return Fire and stuff. Not really experimented too much with like Return Fire. It's actually kind of like an interesting card. I think if you're running Trench into like, it's like awkward, right? That's always been like kind of the problem with the card. It's like super awkward. So what does this signify to me? Draw a card. Do they have like a 4 blockers? I don't get it. I guess maybe they're just letting this connect or something. Okay, they to be considered. It's still 2 coming over. Take it. They get 3 gold, and then we get to take a peek at their hands. So CNC. So they're gonna be able to CNC next turn. I guess they can also boulder drop if they want to. Fortunately, you could give up the Tunic and just cover that. Although giving up the Tunic into what is presumably a more fatigue-oriented list is a little bit suspect. They also just like go off the Arsenal, but then they send boulder drop, which is awkward. So I think we're just supposed to Arsenal this anyway. Seems fine. So block here, here. I played the deck so many ways, I can't figure out whether you want COP and Return Fire together. COP doesn't give you a quick load into Syndra or Mario like Hood or COD does. Yeah, that's like one of the main problems with like a lot of the like we were looking at that fatigue list earlier, right? Like one of the main problems with this list is like if you're given full tempo, like you just can't send damage, right? Like you're sending like 0 for 8 or whatever, and like that's like the extent of your turn. Like capitalizing on tempo has always been like the issue with like a lot of the more kind of like niche Marlin lists, I guess, for lack of a better word. So they pitch the boulder up 1 unknown card in hand. So I think the play is still just a little bit awkward, but we're giving armor on a CNC. I think that's fine. Let's take game. I think we're supposed to pitch the gold to tip unless we want to get super greedy. I think I'm not going to get greedy. Plus having the 1 floating is like extra insurance. Okay, just draw the King Shark. I guess we would have technically got rewarded, but it's fine. I think that's like the less greedy line is to have 1 floating and then also not pitch your arrow, right? I don't think we're gonna hook this though. Still got a lot of game left, so hook is still very relevant. For what it's worth, this is also coming in for 12 only. Yeah, Fatigue Plays is actually not a deck that I feel like I've seen a ton of. It does like I feel like a lot of these like Hunger for More is like kind of a busted card. It's like a bad Sigil of Solace, but it's also like a good Sigil of Solace, right? Because you especially in plays like you can like move the counters around, and then also just like having 4 through 6 copies of Sigil is pretty nice. Righteous. Good. Here's the Staunch. So we have another Staunch we still have to worry about. That's okay though. That standing ovation tough smash. Yeah, we were like full on fatigue Pallades, which is kind of cool. Pretty solid hand. Again, we're just gonna like let them have the clashes. If they get us, they get us. Catch the day standings. And we are losing slightly on the fatigue front though, so we do have to be a bit careful. Go ahead and cycle some gold though. Actually, well, potentially dangerous if we do it like this actually. So if we get rid of the Goldfin, it'd be kind of bad. But I think I'm still supposed to go for it given how much gold we're gonna be sitting on 5 gold. So chances that we can crack towards it are pretty high. Yeah, with 5 gold and a 3 oak, I think we find an arrow most of the time here. That being said, we do have 2 codexes still left, or we have 3 codexes still left. It could get awkward, but so be it. All right, we found the King Kraken. Question here is, do we want to crack any further to try to keep an arsenal? Not when we have the pre-med, I don't think. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just send the 16 here, and we also get the hook on it, which is quite nice. I guess it's only 15 because the to be continued. Yeah, triples, or I think we're double staunching, right? At least we've only seen the 2 staunching. So what I'm hoping that we can do here is at least try to start pushing through some of our just like really busted math against them and hope that they can't really disrupt us in turn. They got some weird cards though, like they're running the auras with the Test of Iron Grip and then the stop. Like it seems like there's a lot of deck building tension here. But maybe they haven't figured out or something. Tough smash up plus the Rampart. Good. You get an extra toughness here, but we do have a Loan Shark on top. That's not bad. Yeah, we're doing pretty okay here, actually. Like, it may look a little bit dire just because, like, playing against a fatigue deck that has a lot of armor. All right, CNC is actually not that big a deal. Sure. We'll get CNC'd again next turn. Do we know what's on top? I think we saw it was like a Loan Shark. Hungry. All right, last Hungry. So hopefully life gain will stop any. I guess they should still probably have 2 sigils left, right? So I think we just don't keep an arsenal. Fine. Skip it. Have them deal 6 damage. Alternatively, they just hammer. I think I'm also fine with. Again, at some point they should hopefully lose at least one of these, depending on how many packs they have in the deck. But maybe they're getting a little bit lucky. Alright, let's go and crack gold. How many buffs do we still have left in the deck? Right, there's one of them. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, so we still have 7 left. And then this is 8, so... Or sorry, this is one of the 7, so 6 left in the deck. Alright. So we are going to start running into a problem where we're going to run out of buffs at some point. But we shouldn't be quite at that point yet. Go ahead and just keep making some gold, though. So I want... Ideally, I want another blue here, and then we can play out the Loan Shark, play out everything. And then we just sit on a ton of gold this turn. For what's worth, they do have the toughness token, but I think I'm just going to try to punch past it. For what's worth, we did board in our riches here, which is kind of nice. So as long as they don't like mill it with the Miller's Grindstone, I hope I'm not manifesting that. But as long as they don't mill it with that, we should probably be in decent shape. Because we do at least have the endgame riches loop. We're doing okay on tempo, at least, though, which is probably the most important thing. So we still know they have that CNC in Arsenal, so we want to be incentivized to go off an Arsenal. Call for backup. Once defense, choose 2 attack action cards with different names in your opponent's graveyard, or in your graveyard, and opponent choose 1 of it. So you can put a card on top of your deck. Sure. Interesting. Doesn't seem like that good of a card against us. I had to do win the clash. Drawing into Blood Rot, which is kind of nice. And up on the pedestals, kind of not doing very much. I mean, I guess it puts cards back in the deck or whatever. I kind of see what they're doing. They're like up on a pedestaling to like win the clashes or something. I don't know. Seems fine. I guess they're gonna win this clash too because they have a boulder drop on top. I guess that's good info, but we're still not blocking this, right? I'll just let them sit on a C and see if they want it. So this next hand, I think we're just gonna try to cycle some. But yeah, the Millers is actually really interesting if you do get to like control the top of your deck, right? Pretty cool. They put a tough smash up on. Okay, what do we want to do here? So you have 3 codexes still left in the deck, right? Ignoring these 2, right? So I think cracking gold is wise. I think I'm actually supposed to pitch the Redfin here. Because we've seen a lot of our decks, so the chances of drawing into codex are pretty high. Yeah, the putting the things on top is actually kind of cool. Not actually seen this before. There's 3 Oak. So 3 Oak's really interesting here because we can actually codex our own codex into Arsenal, and then that means that we can like use codex to play stuff from 3 Oak, right? So I think we start by doing this. And then could even like codex our Tipple in. I think we 3 Oak now. Alright, so we found our codex, that's nice. Now we can codex the codex in. Or we're just chaining all the codexes, it's kind of fun. And then I guess we discard Hamstring. It's our least impactful card. It gets there. Oh yeah, you could use some attacks that have triggers. Oh yeah, they can run like what's that card called? Thunk or whatever. That'd be kind of cool. I see the vision here, at least. Did we make a gold this turn? I don't believe we did, right? We'll not do a danger hook. We should still have some number of codexes coming. And we still know about that CNC in Arsenal, so playing around it. Why not discard Harpoon? Because I don't really want to keep, like, we already have Ponder tokens, right? Like, none of these are super high priority Arsenal targets. Like, we could keep, like, 1 extra deck card in deck with a Hamstring shot, but I'd rather just, like, sit on the gold. Oh, did F tier Fridays stop? Or am I missing them? I think, when it was last time we did an F tier Fridays? Let me actually check. We've just been busy. Is it, like, the main excuse? Let me actually see when the last time we did an F tier Fridays was. Let's see. There also haven't been like a lot of really good memes. I feel like. Let me see. When was our last F tier Fridays? Wow, it's been a while. Did I do a live F tier Fridays? Sorry, I need to play the game. When do we do an F tier Fridays? Was it the Huntsman F tier Fridays? Was that the last one? Has it been 2 months already since the last F tier Fridays? There's popular demand for F tier Fridays. I'll definitely bring it back. I guess here's the follow-up question for you. Do you have any suggestions for F tier Fridays? That's maybe a better question. This is kind of funny stack. So I guess we can maybe go and discard the cards here. What do we want to discard here? I don't know if we want to discard too many. Losing the buffs is a little bit painful. They're not. They have the toughnesses on. Let's discard the Bluefin and then take 2. Kind of hold on to these 2, especially if they're like taking off turn. Ooh, Clash Plate. Yeah, maybe this is the F tier Fridays deck. Love it. It's some sick BM. Very, very disrespectful to our Pleiades opponent here. Alright, Codex is nice though. So still CNC. I'm trying to like just keep reminding myself that their CNC is an arsenal. At least we know what their arsenal is at all times, which is kind of fun. We did not make gold, so we'll just send this. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I feel like there's kind of something like we could play like Fatigue Pleiades Pile. That'd probably be fun. Like this deck is not. I don't know. I don't know if this is the Pleiades sauce. Oh, they got the 3 toughnesses from Diggins. I thought they used the boots to the board. I suppose that makes sense. They might not be connecting here depending on what they got. I feel like normally if the tempo allows for it, like if they were sending anything on the last turn, it would probably be correct there to actually just like block out. Oh, is this like a known deck? There's one guy in Play's Discord that really advocates for this particular deck. Interesting. Yeah, let's see it. I mean, like, it feels kind of real, at least against us. For what it's worth. Oh, they got like 2 or 3 top 4s with it. Are these at like ProQuest or whatever? It feels pretty real. Yeah, local ProQuest. It doesn't seem bad. Like it seems like this is like a real deck for what it's worth. What do we have left in our deck? We have 2 Golden Tips. We have no take games, no pre-meds, random blues, Codex. I guess the question is like, do we want to keep an arsenal here when they have CNC? And the answer is probably no. So I guess we should at least fish a little bit here. All right, Portside lets us refresh the gold. Portside actually might be the arsenal just because it's like low cost. Could actually go 1 deeper here if we wanted to too. Go 1 deeper. All right, nothing crazy. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna arsenal the port side, which is like whatever. Could even like pitch it to Quiver if we really wanted to. Oh, you never saw F Tier Friday as bad decks, but really off meta builds and interesting ideas. Yeah, I've been kind of like, maybe it's just like the kind of like staleness of CC right now. Maybe that's why I haven't really done it. We could actually do one for Silver Age if that's not bad. Like if that's not a bad idea. I know Lyeth's also been fun. I just haven't seen like a ton of like Lyeth innovations going on, I guess. How much are they covering here? Covering 9 currently. So maybe have like another 2 be continued or something. Or no, they do get the oh they Rampart, right? That makes sense. I guess for what it's worth, they're not really going super tall or whatever. Oh, you've been loving the Terra Sage list. I'm glad you enjoy. I was initially going to keep that secret and try to just play the Battle Hardened at Calling Seattle or whatever. But then I got talked into doing the calling, so now I'm practicing Marlin to try to do well in the calling. So I figured I'd just like make that deck list public and just let people have fun with it. I think the hero is like very like this is not like my content opinion. This is like my actual opinion. Is that I think that hero is like sleeper, very very good. Like not bad enough to the point where you like only see like 1 out of calling or whatever. Like I think he's got some really interesting matchup spreads and stuff. Oh, did you watch the dev talk? They shout out Jason Rolfe's Lyeth list is very close to the devs list. Interesting. I've not actually taken a look at that list. If anyone has it in chat, feel free to post it. But yeah, if you want to send me a list, I'm kind of curious because I've not actually like really taken a super long look at it. This hand's like awkward. I guess we're still arsenaling Sleep Dart. We could also just like pitch it because we have the 2 codexes. Or no, we have 1 codex left. Still probably good enough. I'm actually kind of fine maybe pitching the Sleep Dart here because like what do we actually have as whiffs? Like we have more Sleep Darts, more hamstrings. I guess we only have 1 Sleep Dart left. Something like that. Oh, there's deck tech video. Let me see if I can find that actually. I'm gonna quiver here just to get the sleep guard actually like out of my hand. All right, that's fine. I'm trying to find my critics. There we go. Yeah, we'll let them have the mill. Again, they're doing pretty well on like the mill front. Like they have a ton of cards left in deck. So we mill the other gold to tip. That's fine. Yeah, we're kind of in like a little bit of a scary spot here. Hopefully Overpower can get us there. Go ahead and send it. Let me see if I can find that Jason roll. Jason roll. If oh, can Lyeth be a meta contender? Is this the one? Let's see. I'll open this. Calling Valencia Jason. Okay. So this is what the devs intended. Interesting. You got like a lot of nimbleisms, short shrift, Midas touch. Interesting. Okay. Oh, Razor Reflex as well. Very, very cool. There's some spicy cards in here. In the palm of your hand, sigils. Very cool. This feels like very different from the other lights. It's more. It feels like it's more like fatigue oriented. It seems. At least it seems like that with like the skull cap and stuff. Alright, see what they got here. Sync. Good. Double sync. Unfortunate. Yeah, this Pleiades list is looking really good. I mean, that being said, I don't know how this fares into other decks, but maybe it's not much worse than your like normal Pleiades deck, right? Alright, one of these days they're gonna... Oh, actually, sorry, we probably... If it's coming for 3, I actually probably should block, right? Let's go ahead and block it if it's for 3. So let's block with the seafloor here. We need to start pushing in some modicum of damage. What do we have left for threats? We used all of our big harpoons. So it's really just gold fins are like our primary damage output at this point. I guess we still have some number of blue fins left in the deck, right? Let's assess where we're at. So let's start with the golden tipple first. I think we're pitching the catch of the day. Yeah, I think this. Let's start with like a salvage first then. Salvage, tough smash up or whatever. Yeah, it seems like it's got like a pretty decent matchup into this at least. I guess it is not too bad. This is actually a really good opportunity for them to use the Rampart here if they want it. Maybe something I didn't think about. So maybe the better play there is actually just like send 8. Yeah, if they see the play, they probably should Rampart this, maybe. It seems like they maybe see the line given the block. But yeah, the Jason Rolf lift seems pretty interesting. Got like the Quelling Slippers, Tension Grabbers. Seems like you're trying to like control like it feels like it's a lot lighter on a lot of the aura stuff than like Pleiades is, which is kind of cool. Like crack gold. I think we're looking for any harpoon here, but I guess this will do. I don't think we need to start necessarily going for the Goldfin loop just yet. Might not even be able to really afford to do. So the available block here is Rampart, go to 2+4 block from hand or something. Definitely would have liked to see like a blue here, would have been nice. Oh, no hero stands. Oh, interesting. It's gonna get us pretty good here. Oh, actually oh, this actually like screws them over completely. So in that case, we give the Rampart -3. Okay, well, I'm happy with that. I was about to say this is really interesting if they win this, but it's kind of hilarious that they didn't, for what it's worth. maybe a little bit lucky. We finally got them to lose a clash. So we give the Rampart -3 now, so that even if they do pay into it, they actually don't get the value. Oh, we should have done on the no hero stands alone. Sorry, I forgot that this gets base 3. That's my bad. I think we should actually be coming in for one more here. Rather this buffs it's I was reading the 0 block, I'm like, oh, that doesn't matter. I guess their next hand is like nothing. So maybe not that bad of a misplay. Happy little misplay. Alright, so we want to not tipple here, right? Tipple is a trap for rampart purposes. Alright, so you get to Redfin, Arsenal Redfin, probably the play. Getting down to the wire. I mean, they've definitely like fatigued us on cards. I guess the question is whether or not they're going to be able to continue to block overpower, which they should probably be able to, given the staunches. Like they probably should still have some number of ways to get around it still. Let's see what they got. Maybe another staunch. This might be triple staunch, in which case I don't think we're ever like really beating this. Yeah, it turns out staunch is pretty good. We should have a tie actually coming back up. Yeah, there's I called it. The vibes at least were good. So maybe we are actually going to be able to connect at least a little bit here. I know we still have how many catch of the days? We still have 2 catch of the days in the deck. I feel like we can maybe afford to actually wait on. Actually, probably should not pitch the second. Go ahead and send in the Redfin. Send our vanilla 8 damage. One of these days we're gonna connect. When we do, it's gonna feel good. Alright, so there's the palm. Hoping to catch them on at least an awkward draw at some point. But yeah, it seems like they got like a really solid plan here, at least in the Marlin. Yeah, I could believe it if this is like the meta Pleiades deck. See the vision, at least. There's Oasis, so we did actually get some value out of the Ataya there, which is kind of nice. So they're bringing in the palm. Oh, they're gonna move a counter onto it. Interesting. Or no, they can choose, right? Yeah, so you remove a counter, you may put a counter. Yeah, so they can actually just like pick it down. It's pretty cool. So we're taking another hit here. Hand's good at least. You can like block with the sleep dart on pillars. Actually cycle the riches here, just so we can find like maybe a better harpoon arsenal. Bluepin's better. But yeah, we are effectively out of gas at this point. And we still, I guess we do still have one last catch left in the deck. Yeah, if this is becoming like the meta fatigue or like the meta plays list, I might have to end up actually boarding a bit differently. Actually, for what it's worth, I probably should have been running the I think normally I run battering into plays. I'm actually not sure why I brought in the Krakens. I feel like in like normal plays, I normally bring the batters over the Krakens. All right, so we are on triple staunch. Okay, brutal. That means that we're also through most of their deck. Like we're in. I think we're finally in their second cycle. So, question is, do we want to? I think the answer is yes, right? Actually, if it's riches on top, oh, it might be. No, we just pitch riches. Yeah, we just pitch riches, so it should not be. Cool, we hit their heart, so they actually now lose the counter, which is really relevant. If they lost the counter actually a lot earlier, this would have been, I think, a very different game. It still was like kind of relatively close though. Thank you all in chat for sticking it out with me, I guess. So I think we're gonna get to the point now where we're gonna start doing the riches loop. I think we just need to send 6 over power every turn. I have the Rampart. See what their hand is. We strip hand here. Oh, actually, we do get to strip hand. So we get to take the heart and the pedestal. Do they mean to let us do that? Maybe we're not actually quite at the riches loop. We can actually probably just keep pitching through the damage. I think we're gonna do one last harpoon. It's been a crazy game though. There's riches. So unfortunately, because of the Rampart, the tipple is now like super awkward. Okay, let's go ahead and let's start making Goldfins now to preserve some cards in deck, I think. And I think this is gonna be the last like real harpoon we're sending. But yeah, I believe it. Like this list seems like very, very real. At least in Marlin. Whether or not it can beat other things, I guess is anyone's guess. I mean, it could probably beat like Gravy or Cinder. I think Verdance is like the only real question, but like it seems like you may have a plan with like the Skull Cap and whatever. Whether or not the Verdance is good, I guess gonna go to time, right? The eternal question. Sigil. The last sigil? That is last. Okay. What do they have left in hand? Boulder Drop, Tough Smash. So we kind of actually want to get hit by the Boulder Drop, right? A little bit. Alternatively, we block it. Yeah, maybe blocking is actually better. Let's actually block with Tipple, because we don't want to play, like, we never want to play the Tipple, right? Go and turn over Hero, I guess. Alright, we've assembled the Riches Loop, although whether or not that's going to actually matter, we're kind of sitting on a ton of gold. So I guess up here also doesn't matter, right? So they can pretty easily cover this if they want to use the Rampart. Do they have any other life gain other than the heart? They might have one more Oasis, potentially. They have Boulder Drop on top. Interesting. I don't think we're dead yet. Maybe. All for backup. And this depends. Okay, it's basically just 7, right? So we can block. We have 2 Sleep Darts left in our deck. And we just need to stay as healthy as... We needed to get them to Hammer Swing. We might still be toast here. More likely than not, we're toast. The toughnesses are also really starting to add up. Hopefully we can maybe get some of these Goldfins to push through, though. We have 2 Sleep Darts and then 2 Gems. So if they are able to push... We maybe get like 1 or 2 turns, depending on what their hand is. Sleep Dart, call for backup. So they win that. They get another toughness. Yeah, this deck's pretty good. We're also at the point where like the gold just like does not matter, right? So we block 3, take 4 here. We go to 1. Theoretically, they now have to. I mean, it's functionally the same, right? If they ever are hitting us with an actual attack, like we kind of lose. I think we might have already lost, right? Because they can just block 4, Rampart, go to 1. So if they have like any attack to send, it's basically like pretty rough. Yeah, this deck seems really good. Let's go ahead and make our Goldfin though. Yeah, we are officially out of stuff. All the more reason I'm tempted to switch the Abyssal Quiver at some point. I know there's been a little bit of talk about that. Abyssal Quiver women. Alright, they got us good. Yeah, I think how close were we? Kind of curious. Like if they were like I think the toughness has actually added up a lot. They still have like a lot of tough snatch ups. Good game though. Yeah, it still seems like really, really solid. They were, for what it's worth, out of reacts, but they still had that 1 test of Iron Grip. Let me actually unsort it. So the Test of Iron Grip is coming up soon. They have the No Hero Stands Alone, which could have also rolled us probably because they win the clash, right? Yeah, they still have like a lot of heat left in the deck. I don't know if we actually like can fatigue this if we're not like fat decking a little bit. That's actually good info though. Like if this is like the popular plays list running around, then I think we have to board a bit differently. I think the main mistake was probably like not bringing in the batters, although I don't know how much difference that actually would have made. But yeah, I think I'd normally bring in battery against Pleiades. I just separates it up. All right, let's see if we can get another one. Try to look for a non-fatigue game because I know those games can get a bit grindy. But that play list actually seems really good. All right, let's see what else we can find. So, what are we looking at on this list? What's felt good? Not this list. Fighting against a Puffin. I feel like Puffin's gotten a lot scarier. I'm like halfway tempted to also bring in the Ataya in this one. I think Riches is definitely good. Let's maybe not bring in Ataya though. They're going first, which maybe indicates they're more aggro Puffin. Let's try it. How are we doing with this list? We lost 1 to the fatigue plays, which is to be expected. I guess we won 2 against Ira. Syndra. See how Puffin goes. This is normally like this matchup has historically felt very good, but like I feel like the Puffin lists have like finally gotten like pretty aggro. So it kind of feels like that for if you like whiff on disruption, it can be pretty rough. Let's see though. Riches in the opener. It's whatever. Rust Belt. Why are we running this one? I guess it's just like gain a resource on demand or something. Why this over like Tech Foundry? This is a spicy build, Mr. Spicy. Crown of Dominion indicates to me that this is like more aggro Puffin. Cloud Skiff is also not one I've seen a ton of. So what does this indicate to me? This feels like boost, or this feels like it's not boost Puffin. I feel like if they were boost Puffin, they'd just be running like Foundry Heart. Also, we probably should have filtered there. I'm just like, I kind of got thrown off. So let's crack a gold, see what's up. But yeah, it's definitely probably worth filtering there. Cover. Alright, Sleep Dart's not bad. So we can either set up the Blood Rot or the... Yeah, I'll take the Blood Rot. Push some damage. Sleep Dart might be relatively annoying since they only have... So what would I have filtered on turn 1? Did they actually tap out of action? I guess is the question. I don't think they did, right? Okay, they did. Yeah, I think a better play actually was to quiver there so that we like cycle the Riches out of hand, just start 1 gold higher. Like pitch Riches plus maybe the Codex of Blood Rot and just try to dig a little bit. Alright, let's see what they got. Alright, connect to the Sleep Dart, which is good. So that means they're not going to be able to rip the gold, and they're also not going to be drawing cards. Alright, let's see what our arsenal is. I will take that. You. And what does this hand want to do? So the play is probably block 3 here. Hold on to Yellowfin. And definitely like an interesting Puffin list. I feel like Boost Puffin has been a lot more popular, at least that I've seen. Like the more the lists that have performed pretty well against me are not running like stuff like Sky Skimmer. It's more like just like 0 to 60, 0 tribal. I do get the back scoot to get another functionally 0 for 4. Pretty good. The art for this is also Got like a little bird, Polly. Here. It's also his wing is different, right? It's got like a red wing as opposed to a one. Maybe just a different artistic vision on Polly there. All right, so I think we're just gonna give so they can double tap the thing, fire. Yeah. Let's go ahead and just give them the port side since we already have like a gold outlet in the shot. Yeah, ideally we'd like to find another arrow that's not the elephant. But mainly just giving this to soak up a little bit of damage. Untap, they go again. They Spitfire for 2. Unless they want a unicycle for some reason. So a decent little chunk of damage. They're also going to be on 2 cog next. I might want to consider actually using the bait hook a little bit earlier, mainly for Palantir. Because normally that's the thing you want to throw in front of it, right? If they want to blow up the gold bait hook, it's normally fine. There are some like annoying on hits in these puffin lists. Like I know Boom Grenade is in a couple of them. So there. Need some good disruption here. Right, Strophy Shot. Okay, Catch of the Day is good. I think I'm gonna play this out because the high roll is very good. If we do whiff, like if we whiff and don't find like another harpoon, it could be a little bit awkward. But I feel like the chances of us bricking with a yellowfin in hand are pretty low. We'll see. All right, I'll take that. So now you get to fire the bluefin instead. I think if they have 3 blues in hand, the game is like actually over. That's nice. Got that going for us. That being said, I feel like these decks are a bit more red line, so like more likely than not, it's like 1 blue or 2 blues. So taking the resource out of hand is like pretty nice, and I do think we get to throw the gold bait hook on this for pretty much free. That being said, I'm a little bit nervous given the armor setup. They could be on reacts with this setup. Like it seems like they're not running like the boost package, at least from what we've seen so far. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, if they're not on the boost package, what are they doing? I guess they're just running like a lot more of the kind of like draft chaff from High Seas, for lack of a better word. We have 4 potentially here, but they do have to like get rid of their cogs, and they already have a gold, so it's like not even done. That being said, we're going to potentially steal 1. They want to do that? Okay. I'm going to question it. So they got rid of... What did they sacrifice? They didn't sacrifice a cog. What item? Wait, what item did they destroy? Sorry, I missed this. Oh, they destroyed a gold. Wait, what? Why would they destroy a gold? I'm confused. Oh, maybe so I don't steal it? Is that the rationale? I guess that kind of makes sense, maybe? I'm not gonna question it. They probably know more about Puffin than I do. Golden Skywarden, Boom Grenade. Kind of a nothing hand. For what it's worth, they don't get to crank. I guess this is just fine for us. We just have to 0 for 4 block that on the Boom Grenade, and we should be pretty okay. So even though we're not connecting with the Boom Grenade there, it's funny enough, the Elephant Harpoon actually would have been a little bit... But I feel like on average, the Bluefin is still probably correct. Who knows? Right, we do have a Codex set up, and we do have a Bluefin in the yard, so like we're kind of good there. Would like to maybe try to find like one of our big red harpoons to block with this turn. But if not, it's not the end of the world. Like we have Sunken Treasure plus gold bait hook block here. I think we're gonna be ignoring the bird here. Oh yeah, they do, I guess, get a extra card draw off the so we might have to end up blocking a little. I feel like there are a lot of blocking options in this hand though. Like we can do 5, like 4 here, 5 here if we wanted to. I feel like the chances of them sending the like attacking with the Golden Skywarden are actually pretty low, right? Although they could like Rust Belt do something. Puffin still feels like a little bit of more suspect Dio right now. Someone in chat, maybe Puffin enjoyers, maybe convince me otherwise. I still feel like if Theo exists, like why play Puffin is kind of like question mark. You do get like very similar effect though. Like you do get the card draw, right? Like Dio gets the card draw, you get the card draw. Symbiosis shot's like really good. I don't know. I guess you get like Palantir and stuff. All right, what are we doing here, opponent? Do we need a refresh? See if I need. I cannot wait to claim victory. Let's do it. Opponent is in the tank. Anyways, how is everyone doing in chat? How y'all doing? How's your week? Happy Monday. All that. But yeah, we can maybe try. I can maybe try to slap together like fatigue plays list. We can play it on. We can't play it this Friday. We can maybe play it next Friday. Just have some fun. I feel like the BNR will probably shake things up a little bit. So maybe fatigue gets a little bit more interesting. I don't know. The funny thing is like the top 3 decks right now. It's like Cinder Verdance, Cinder Verdance Gravy, right? If those decks go away, does Fatigue just become like the default best deck? Maybe. Like it feels like I've been seeing like an uptick in just like Theory Act piles. But they actually, our opponent might be they increase the timer or something because I feel like it normally doesn't take this long. Maybe I'm getting stream sniped and they're refreshing the page or whatever. Let's see. I think our opponent might have left. Well, let me claim the victory so I can pad my win rate. All right, I think we're gonna call this one. I don't know why it's not showing the claim victory or whatever. But anyways, opponent can have this one. All right, technically not Puffin. Let's actually see. Can we see what they're? And they had a Goldwing Turbine or something, and they had. Okay, so they're not actually doing the boosting stuff. It's like a non-boost. Oh wow, this is like draft. Okay. Yeah, nothing really lost from there. We could play against a KO, but KO's like generally a pretty easy matchup. Let's try something else. The show must go on. Alright, we can play against Victor. More riches. Kai is sometimes okay, but like, eh. Maybe just cut. Actually, click on something else. No. All right, let's run 61. See how it goes. I think fatigue is definitely like a little bit of concern here. Maybe a tie is still worth it. I don't know. Let's just run it as is. I think fat decking Victor is like kind of fine. Or only fat decking by 1. So I've seen a lot more uptick in like fatigue Victor, like Peck Perfect, less like pummel stuff, more block cards. I do get a riches start, which is really nice. So we could be getting hit for 9 here or whatever. Somewhat likely. But it's Peck Perfect, okay. So Normally against Peck Perfect, I just try to block 6. Could get pummeled. We do. Not the end of the world. I think I'll just hold on to the Kraken. Oh, did we? Oh my god. Are we about to lose our riches? Oh, that sucks. Sucks so bad. Lose? Oh. Ooh. Oh, we also lost to King Shark? Rough. Damn. That was a really good Peck Perfect. Guess we shouldn't have blocked. My mistake. Alright, a little unfortunate. Let's see if we can back here though. So they bought in the visit, which is at least nice, and they did have to crack the gold, so it's like not that bad. We want an Arsenal take game ideally, because it lets us kind of like use the pseudo gold. Alright, we'll fire back for 13. Yeah, Peck Perfect. Card is like surprisingly good. I feel like they always see this in their opener, and then it's like never relevant the rest of the game. The card's like actually surprisingly good if you just get to like open it with it though. Yeah, the start was really good. I think it's gonna be the Guardian losing train tonight with the riches in the middle too. Unlucky. Oh, you know what? We could have actually played around Test of Strength if we one of the arguments against trying to hold the take game in hand is test. So they do go for that. It's a bit awkward. Why are they giving this armor block is like weird to me. Okay. So their hand does like nothing. Unless I'm missing something here. I think I'm fine. Seems good. So we might, if they're gonna send the disable here, we might actually just let them. Oh, they're gonna send. Okay. Golden Sun for 10, lose Aegis. I'm like A-okay with this. We're just gonna like completely blow them up next turn. This is great. Yeah, they had a really good start and they used all their armor, which is very questionable. Yeah, I can't complain about King Shark for 16. Do we want to get greedy with the hook? I'm like so tempted to get greedy. If they're like not running staunches, then I think this is correct. If there's a chance, so if they have it's coming in for 16, if they have 2 4 blocks plus 3 block, they can theoretically. So I guess we won't go for it, especially since they don't have like a gold already. We'll go for the safe play here. I think there's like a world where if they have like 2 test of strength plus 3 block, they cover 11. I guess even then that still doesn't work. I guess it had to be like staunch or something. All right, they win the trounce. We have a 3 oak on top. They draw an E-strike. It's fine. So they have disable in the bin. They have seismic and vigor. So I think we just want to take their ability to go wide, right? Because we know that they can send disable from Arsenal, and we don't really care about the spine. Like they're not gonna like pummel us or anything. So we need to take away their ability to like go wide. I think so. That means we take these. So disable an Arsenal, spinal in hand. Shouldn't be that bad for us. We give 7 here, and then we just the game Iophidia. Yeah, this matchup's like really not that bad. I don't know, it feels like pretty like just with how Victor decks are constructed, a lot of times you're just gonna be connecting with a lot of your stuff. Oh, they're gonna send the disable instead. I guess that makes our lives a little bit easier. We can like bucket sleep dart plus this, and then they're arsenaling spinal for next turn. That seems fine. Should be in a really good position here. So let's start with the big game. Codex is a bad draw, right? We unfortunately do have that 3 oak there. I think the answer is bottom bottom. Look for arrow, right? Do not find arrow. How greedy do we want to get? How many arrows have we seen? It's maybe arguably greedy to block with that sleep dart. Maybe we actually should have blocked with the C4 that one turn. We could very easily lose the game here. Maybe that was our small misplay there. So we have like 3 cracks at it. All right, YOLO. Fighting yellow. Okay, good enough. That will do. Throw a hook on this, so that actually worked out quite nicely. I think that was a little greedy. Like, I think there's a way to like mitigate the greed there by just holding onto the sleep dart and then blocking with the C4 salvage. Maybe a misblock on my part. All right, we got the gold baited hook. We still do stuff. Ooh, and we also get 2 yellow. Okay, wait. So they have seismic. They have seismic and they have spinal and arsenal. They get yellow. The only play they have is to send spinal next turn, unless they want to like pummel their hammer or whatever. Maybe a little lucky there. Seems good. Spinal can give. They have the Codex and Arsenal, so I guess we just give 6 here. Play it slow, get a King Shark back. Life is good. But yeah, we're in a nice spot here actually. We take 3, go to 21, and then we have full tempo. They have like basically no. Yeah, the Peck Perfect stuff has been really interesting in Victor. I guess it also means that you're like a lot more likely to like win a bunch of clashes, right? With like punks and stuff. It's cool. I'm into it. How many buffs do we have left? We could actually get greedy and crack a little bit of gold here if we wanted to. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have roughly 10 buffs in the deck, and I think we pitch at least like 1 or 2, like catch of the days. So in that case, we have like 8 buffs out of bottom 30, so roughly like 25% chance or something like that. I just don't think it's necessary really to crack gold though. We definitely could have. Yeah, maybe. There's also maybe merit to just playing the Tipple there and just like sending them, but then they get to like use their quick dodge efficiently, so I don't know. It's probably good enough to just send King Shark. I think if we were under a lot more pressure, we'd probably get a little bit greedier there and just like try to fish for more blue. What did they get back? They got back a spinal. Right, so I need blue. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Take their Clutchmite. So Arsenal, quick Splutterrot seems good. This is only coming in for 8, which means our Sea Lace block's really nice. Here. And I think this is actually hand where we can get a little bit greedier. Let's banish our own riches as a sign of disrespect. Love to see it. Alright, let's crack some gold here. Alright, so now we're gonna get a little bit greedy. And it's not even greed, we just want to like make use of our gold pile. Trophy shot's perfect. Perfect payoff. So there are a couple ways this can go a little bit awkward, but fortunately we never whiff, so that's great. We get to just send 16 functionally with the ponder on the back. So it worked out pretty well. I feel like we were pretty likely to hit a buff there. Like, we're pretty deep in our deck. So like we have most of our buffs still. Like I think we had still said we had like 8 buffs last time we checked. So pretty likely to connect. Now we might as well dry hook just because like not gonna get many hooks. Alright, they got the Testament Grip. This is the card you actually have to be really careful about in this matchup. Like if you end up trying to keep an arsenal, sometimes it's like better not to do it. But yeah, it looks like they're just stuck on the thump there. Perhaps what they did have 1 D-React, it looks like. Oh, 2 D-Reacts, I guess. They had the Staunch and then the Sink Below. Kind of an interesting spread. I don't know. I think Victor still has like issues. I've not been like super convinced by like these recent builds. Like the Peck Perfects are definitely like stuff, but like I don't know. Victor is just like a very rare deck. Okay, where are we looking at time? We got like 210. Let's do one last game. One last game for a road. See how it goes. Again, we're playing the Gravy 0% deck, so let's see what we're doing. Ignore the Puffin loss because we left that game. I guess I'll go ahead and hide that one. So excluding the Puffin one, which we left because our disconnected. Geez, 20 turns for the plays again. That was kind of crazy. Not doing too bad though. Lots of guard. I wanted to try to practice the Marionette matchup today. Like, there's been a ton of Marionette on Talishar. Oh, we got the Marlin mirror. Oh, we are not teched for the mirror. Do we want to go out on a Marlin mirror? We'll let them have fun. We're going second. We're gonna lose. Boo. They could actually be running the Fatigue Marlin and then we win. That deck is like 0% for this deck. You just get to I don't even think, or they're running Hook, right? So I guess they could still roll us on turn one, but whatever. It's probably fine. We're just gonna lose our starting gold. Okay, they're on like a normal. Looks like. Unfortunately, we don't have our Honing Hood tech or our Balance tech or Pankaj's Crown of Providence tech. Those will all be pretty good right now. Yeah, Loan Shark's a pretty good start. So we might be losing the starting gold. That being said, we do have a 3 oaks. So if we're able to keep this, my chances in my brain go up a little bit higher. All right, cracking some gold. Sleep darts. All right, what we got here? Yeah, King Shark's not bad. Hook, yep. Oh, 6. Okay, we can deal with 6. Block. I think our opponent got unlucky there. If I had to guess, their hand is like 2 blues. They pitched a Kraken. Maybe they just had a very red heavy hand. Alright, we didn't lose on the spot, which is great though. Now it's almost like we're going first. The Marlin mirror. Truly cursed. I don't think this matchup's actually that bad if both players have like a second headpiece. Because then like first, second doesn't really matter as much. I think we are hooking this. They've not shown to be like a weird Marlin list. I think the hook here is safe. That being said, we could lose to like Unmovable or D-React or something. So far it looks like pretty stock standard though. So this is Sunken plus probably a red or something. Something like that. See what they got. Again, if you know your opponent's not on like some weird Marlin list, you should probably be hooking every turn. Assuming you pump over like 10 basically. Got a good start though. Just the Sunken. So they get to turn over our gold to tip. They lose their 3 oak. I'm okay with this. What is the other? So it must be like 2 blues in hand or something. Okay, that's probably the most likely. Take the red golds. Redfin. Ooh, Fatigue Shot's kind of interesting. I don't know if this is necessarily the meta for Fatigue Shot, but I've thought about it a lot. It's like okay. I don't know. At a certain point, it really doesn't matter what your blues are. But I guess Fatigue Shot might be kind of interesting into us. Alright, so we got the cannon into what? What are we looking at? The Codex, okay. Good. So the Codex get back the King Shark. Oh, we can actually like kind of blow, not like blow them out, blow them. Get most of the way there. Curious to actually see if they want to hook here. Okay, they are hooking. That's good for them. But fortunately, we do get to dodge here. So we'll take 7, but we don't lose another card in hand. At least nice. All right. Get their gold back, but we're still sitting on a decent pile. Then we're going to play out our own load shark, so we're a bit even on gold at least. The nice thing is we also have 3 plus take game in Arsenal, so lots of fun stuff we can do. What is our Arsenal? Did choose to Arsenal, it's probably not sunk. Okay, let's go ahead and 3 oak. Got 2 take aims and a Kraken. So if we draw a blue here, we get to smack him for 16. Alternatively, we can not get greedy, but I am a greedy person. Let's go ahead and go. All right, we draw the Codex. So since this is basically status quo, I'm going to try to reroll. All right, 1 blue, 1 time. Perfect. All right. Now we get to send in 15 here. Seems decent, though. We are losing the Codex, which is, I guess, a little bit unfortunate, but cannot complain about a big King Kraken. Yeah, I guess our draw's been like a little bit better than our opponents. I guess we took their 3 oak, we got to resolve 2 3 oaks. So I feel like we've had like they did go first, but we've had like a slightly better draw. We're in a good spot. That being said, we are potentially giving them a full grip depending. See what they get. So random Arsenal, 4 known cards. Gold, 2 gold. So we have the big game trophy shot, the Codex of Bloodrot, and then if this was a blue non-attack, I think I'd be more inclined to take that. But since I think the yellows are basically the same, let's go ahead and just take the trophy shot just to remove the high rolls. Like, I don't think they actually can play the trophy shot there. It's still fine, though. The funny thing about Codex of Bloodrot is we could actually play around their King Shark, which we know about now. Like, if we Arsenaled this King Shark, it's actually like a pretty decent play for us. Depends what this card in Arsenal is. I feel like that hand is like pretty damn awkward. So they pull Tunic. At that, they have a King Shark here. So maybe this is, if this is like best case scenario, this is like take game or something. At least that's the play I see. They pump that take game or Bloodrot or something. Could be anything. Right, just the blue fin. Can't block this, unfortunately, but we can just give them the tipple, and then we know they have a King Shark. I don't think there's an alternative play, right? Yeah, just give them the tipple. And now our play next turn gets a bit interesting. Their hand kind of sucks now. So we could Goldfin, crack gold, draw blue, send 9. Maybe that's like the best play we have. Feels suspect, but I think that's the strat, right? It's very predicated on draw. If we do draw like a red here, though, it's like not the end of the world. That's like the worst red, though. Right, so maybe it is the end of the world. In this case, go to Arsenal the gold. But yeah, that's probably the worst possible. We've seen like a decent number of red harpoon. Maybe not. Maybe actually we're kind of overdue for that. So in this case, what do? We can pitch Shark, send Goldfin next turn. Yeah, that's rough. So I think the play is we load Shark, and then we just fire off Shark. A little bit awkward. Again, maybe we're supposed to... Oh, we can actually discard this to the Loan Shark too. That's like kind of a real play, right? Maybe it's still kind of works out in some way. Assuming they like no block this, take 9, reveal a non-attack, discard the Goldfin, keep a Ponder. It's actually not the worst thing in the world. You do know about their King Shark though. Yeah. They could actually also like keep the Loan Shark around. Yeah, the C4 salvage. So very likely they're gonna King Shark us next turn. We can survive, hopefully. Make sure we go to the Ponder first because we might draw a brick. Alright, take game's good. Alright, a little bit of brick hands, but maybe try to clap back here. Being on no gold is definitely rough though. Ooh, catch of the day is gonna be cool. Yeah, that's brutal. Why the gold crap? Oh, because 3. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh boy. Yeah, we might still be losing this one. That's okay. So the funny thing is we can actually like triple quiver to deny the catch triggers. Because we're going to be losing our hand pretty much anyways, right? And then I guess we just hope that they don't have good follow-up here. We're in trouble. So we block here, and then we dump most of our hand, right? So we hit here, hit here. I guess we can hold on to the catch of the day. We could also filter it if we want to. Depends what the top is. But yeah, we're getting time walked here. So we have a Murderous Rebel on top, which maybe means the catch can actually go now too. Just full filter. Take 12. They get 1 gold. Seems fine. We just want to get deeper towards our power cards, assuming we're going to get a turn. We hopefully should. Depends how good their next couple turns are. Alright, let's see what their follow-up is. Got a good hand if we can keep it. Very strong if, though. Fortunately, we don't really have a 1 cost in the bin just yet. Which I guess could be the sleep guard, depending on what they do. Alright, making a gold pin doesn't bode well. Tipple could be worse. Maybe not tipple? Maybe they want to go bait hook or something? Oh, they're not discarding? Oh, they are discarding. Okay. So take 1. Guess there are worse things, but we'll see what this thing is. So what are the worst disruptive effects we can see at this point? Probably Kraken's pretty far up there. We haven't seen a single one yet. Blue Pin's rough. Even Yellow Pin's rough. I almost want to see like a Red Fin. That'd be great. Oh, one time. Just send a Red Fin to us. That'd be amazing. Alright, so Cannon Pump plus stuff. Alright, Red Fin 1 time. Please? Oh, Kraken. Boo. I think we're dead, right? Dead. Not technically dead, right? can like do this. Pick 2. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Oh, big fan. Well, you are on stream, friend. Nice. Pick 2. All right, we're losing to a fan, which is at least kind of nice. So, funny thing is, if they take Codex or the gold to tip, we at least do have the follow-up play of like Sloading and Sleep Dart. We'll see what they take here, though. Yeah, unfortunately, the going second curse still seems to be an effect, even though like the starting turn wasn't really good. I mean, they starting off with Loan Shark is pretty good in the mirror as well. Yeah, almost certainly we're taking the Codex here. Yeah, makes. So we need a very specific set of draws here to actually stand a chance, I think. What do we need to do? We're setting 10 here, which at least the Sleep Dart should be mildly annoying. Yeah. So we need to draw like the last 3 oak or a Codex, and like Chain Disruption to victory. We're gonna need them to basically like block 6 here and then send like mediocre follow up, something like that. I don't think too much about this matchup. I think there are like what, like 4 people who play Marlin, so chances of you like actually running the mirror like pretty low. But yeah, the mirror does just feel like very coin flip. It kind of feels like Azalea, or at least how I kind of imagined them to be. Right, if they're giving us 3 cards, there's definitely a chance here. Yeah, we can technically rip a 3 oak or like a Codex, both potentially viable. That being said, if they keep like a blue, they can probably crack into stuff. All right, Sunken Treasures is one of the ways to come back, I guess. Drill shots are also interesting. I've been tempted to go back to drill shot, although I haven't missed them a ton. We'll see. I think this card's like okay. I think a lot of the blues are kind of just preference. I still prefer kind of like the Sleep Dart Hamstring because they're mildly relevant against Syndra. I think drill shot's got its place too. I don't think the card's bad at all. I'll let them win. I assume they just probably want to pitch differently. For me, not. So the gold pin. Do get to live here. Assuming that this is pumped. So what do we need to draw? I think we break their hook, right? Might be too little too late though. Because I think we need to draw pretty damn well. So we always have the chance to load, so let's go ahead and crack at least 1 gold and try to look for a blue. Eyes? Interesting. I don't think it helps us though. We still just need to send like Rot. I guess there's a world where we draw like Sunken Treasure, they send 6 again, and then maybe we win off the back of that or something. I don't know. Anything can happen. All right, 3 oak's one of the ways to win. Let's bottom the tipple so that we have a. Oh, something weird happened with the off. Okay, interesting. The bottom of the tipple, draw the 3 oak, hope to find Sunken, and then maybe that. I don't know if we've actually bottomed a Sunken. We might have. They could theoretically just go to 1 here if they just give up Tunic. This has been surprisingly close for going second, though. I feel like similar kind of resources between us two. It's like it's not like they like really high rolled all that much, right? Alright, so we got the 3-0. Sunken? No. Oh, okay, I think we're done. See what they got though. Always a chance that they can't send overpower. Send overpower. So Tim is just like, yeah, Redfin. That'll do it. Oh, and they also have to drop Thinker. Alright, good game. They got us good. I think that was pretty close though. For what it's worth, if we draw the Sunken, does that do it? GG's. Oh no, the Sunken doesn't do it, right? Because we need one extra card. Where is our Sunken? Curiosity. I think we might have pitched it actually. Or maybe that's the start of our stack. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, Marlon Mirror, always cursed. They did actually have like some good tech for it though, like the drop anchors. What else did they have? I'm kind of curious. They're running lace as well. This one drop the anchor, one lace. Huh, interesting. I haven't seen lace in a while either. I think it's just kind of like falling out of favor. All right, let's see if there's maybe one more person. There's like a random game I might do it. And maybe we'll just call it there for today. But yeah, that was the Gravy 0% list. Again, this is the list where we're kind of cutting all of the Gravy tech. Again, I'm still kind of working on the board, but there's generally about like 4 slots that I have access for Gravy. So it's basically like the Red Hamstring, the Shelters, and then I think one of these Murs Rebels. Like they're basically like 4 slots that I have for Gravy in my other list. But in this list, we're cutting them just to see like how the deck performs. And again, I feel like I don't know what it is, but I feel like a lot of the sideboard space for Marlin just feels like very, very like you can run Shelters, but Shelters like if not good in a lot of matchups, and like it's not even like good in like Marionettes or like Syndra or whatever. Like this is like kind of like even like over tech for Syndra, and like even I feel like a lot of tech like we even saw like just didn't matter. Like maybe the Shelter was like somewhat relevant, but like the extra hamstring I think we just like blocked with it or whatever. So again, I feel like there's a lot of like sideboard potential with Marlin. That there's a lot of directions you can go with it, I think. But I think this is basically like pretending like we ignore Gravy. But I think there is like some Gravy sideboard you can add that like actually makes the matchup like pretty okay. So I've been experimenting with that. I think again it's between like the swallows and the drop anchors and then the endless stuff. Both of which I think have merits, but I think I do have like a little bit of preference there. But yeah, anyways, I think that's probably gonna wrap it up for today. So again, thank you all for watching. And again, this is like pretty close to what I'm going to bring for calling me like 7 or 8 cards off, something like that. But yeah, anyways, hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see y'all.